everyone, this is Catrina the Cat. Welcome to Season 2 of Sonic and Friends Read. Today I will be giving a spotlight by reading you all Max and Ruby episode 0004, a Max and Ruby Lost episode creepypasta. Now, the Shadow Reader, the Shadow Lioness, Creepypasta, and Undell all read this creepypasta. So I thought, maybe I could read this, since it is the start of the new season after all. Now, this story was on Geoshea's Lost Episodes wiki. If you want to read it for yourself, feel free to check it out. So without further ado, let's get started. It's just that this Christmas went by, and things were getting busy. I had to start buying presents for the family. I had finished shopping, but I still need to grab a present for my little cousin. She is not very hard to shop for since she is 4. She likes shows like Peppa Pig and My Little Pony. She really liked, and I say liked for a reason, Max and Ruby. So when I decided to go looking for a present, I figured something like a Max and Ruby DVD would have been perfect, since she'd like to watch it on a daily basis. However, Christmas meant that most of the online DVDs were sold out in most places. I went to look on eBay as well, but I figured I couldn't trust what condition the DVDs would have been in, so I was stuck in a rut for a while until that package arrived. I was at home still scrolling for a stupid DVD until I heard the sound of something being pushed into my letterbox. I caught a hold of it before my dog did and looked at the package. It seemed to be wrapped fairly badly with what looked like grease marks and stains on it. Naturally, like anyone would, I decided to open the package. Inside was something that I could not explain. It was a Max and Ruby DVD, but I had not seen one like it online. It was like some little kid had drawn on the front cover with a marker. The title was just Max and Ruby, with what looked like a poorly drawn illustration of Max and Ruby on the front. There were no names or anything, but on the back it had a list of 4 episodes, all with blunt titles. Episode 0001, Episode 0002, Episode 0003, and Episode 0004. I gave the DVD a watch over, and to my surprise, the episodes were all perfect quality and seemed to have no flaws. It was as if it was a real DVD, just with a homemade cover. The only thing I thought was odd was the episode selection screen. The episodes had names, but they were all called Max and Ruby 1, with the numbers being changed as it went down the list. The actual selection screen was just a plain white screen with black text with the episode list and nothing else. After giving it much thought, I decided to change the cover to something a little nicer by printing out a DVD cover that I found on Google and tracked down the names of the episodes so they were labeled right. I left the episode list screen alone because I figured it was self-explanatory. Christmas went by and things were fine. I gave my little cousin her DVD and she was happy with it all through Christmas, but that was only because she hadn't watched it yet. On Boxing Day, the family had gone out for a meal and left me to babysit my cousin. I was not too bothered about being left at home. I figured now was a good time to put on the DVD for her. I put the DVD in and let it play while I was in the kitchen eating my dinner. From what I could hear, she had watched episodes 1 to 3 so far. I was just about to finish off my noodles when I heard my cousin screaming from the other room. Dropping everything, I ran into the living room and saw my cousin curled up on the floor, screaming. I looked up at the TV and I felt my heart in my throat. What I caught a glimpse of What I caught a glimpse of was one of the most horrifying things I have ever seen. It was what appeared to be a frame of Max and Ruby, standing next to each other with complete darkness. But what made it so horrible was their lack of faces. They had lost their noses and mouths, and their eyes were replaced with big black holes. The colors were a disgusting blood red, and there was a faint static in the background. The sound was replaced with what sounded like a Max and Ruby theme song playing backwards, with the faint sound of static in the mix of it all. It had to be the most disturbing thing I had ever seen, and it must have been on the screen for at least 20 seconds before the screen went black and the DVD turned off, which alone was weird because DVDs don't usually turn off by themselves. I was able to calm my cousin down, telling her it was not real, and she had just had a nightmare, and she had fallen asleep in front of the DVD. However, I knew in my mind it was completely real. My parents had rung me up and told me that they were going to be out all night, so this was going to be the best opportunity to look at this DVD more closely. I didn't mention it to them, and as soon as they hung up, I grabbed the DVD and stuck it in my laptop. As soon as it loaded, I noticed that episode 0004 had now been replaced with R.I.P. Mommy and Daddy, which sent me a deep chill down my spine. Since my cousin was now asleep, I plugged in my earbuds so she could sleep without having to hear anything. Normally, an episode of Max and Ruby would have 3 short stories, but this episode only had 1. It started off quite lighthearted. Max and Ruby were playing tag in the garden, and their parents were on the porch watching them play. However, something was off. The sound was playing in reverse, and the parents' faces were that of sadness. It panned to the mother and father, and in a voice of deep sorrow, the father spoke. "It's such a shame," he sighed. It then cut short to the sound of static and a loud scream, followed by the sound of 2 people choking. The sounds felt so real, it made me almost physically sick. The scene then switched to Max and Ruby standing in front of what looked like a gravestone labeled, "Rest in peace, Mommy and Daddy." The 2 of them had no faces. At this point, there was also no sound, apart from faint static. This scene remained on screen for about a minute and a half before it cut away into black. It then changed the scene again, now showing Max and Ruby sitting in Ruby's room. Both of them were sobbing. The sobs were so realistic and heart-wrenching that it sounded like it was taken from a real person mourning. And this is where I will stop in part 1. Stay tuned for part 2 of Catrina the Cat Reads Max and Ruby, episode 0004.